Welcome back to Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 1. At the start of every new game, you have to re-add the combos that you already gained when you leveled up from the previous gameplay, not to mention all the party members that you have, one of which being Yudi, one of the CPU candidates I slightly mentioned in the last part. There are 4 CPU candidates, but 3 plans for them. Ram and Ram are a 2-for-1 deal. The CPU candidates made their debut in Mark II, which is also Rebirth 2. Not to mention, if you have any equipment, you might want to put on the strongest equipment you had from the previous game onto your characters. Yeah, this is going to make things very, very boring when you have the ability to one-shot just about all your enemies, but I kind of have no choice but to do this in order to get the true perfect ending. You cannot get all 3 CPU candidate plans completed without the appropriate megabytes. Now, the Lily Ranks. I'll talk to more about the CPU plans later. The Lily Ranks is something that is started in Hyperdimension Neptunia Mark II, and it's been a staple since, but seeing as how this is the Rebirth, which is the remake, Rebirth will have access to the Lily Ranks, and whatever rank your Lily Rank is in, that is the abilities that you have. The problem is, Lily Ranks, well, without the right amount of equipment, will take forever to grind. I gotta say, the grind is real in this game. Because not only you're grinding for parts for the remake system, so to make the game a lot easier, and not to mention grinding for the CPU candidates, you are also grinding for Lily Ranks. So that way you'll be able to have abilities like breaking damage limit, protecting yourself from status ailments, using less SP for your moves. I mean, the remake system is absolutely ridiculous. And even then, there's also the Coliseum fight plan that you need to unlock through the remake system as well. And the only way to do that is for the aforementioned stages in the last part that I've mentioned, which was Duty Space, Metro Factory, Zeka Ruins, Gravidae's Ruins, and also Orton Fields. Watch out for those RKOs. Anyway, my biggest gripe with this game, however, is the fact that some of the cutscenes are not voiced. Sometimes in English, sometimes in neither, which has me to change between voice clips. Now, the problem with me doing that, it fucks up my setup to the point where I had to edit the video because I had Treasure Hunter Claire on my desktop. Hey, I'm a man of culture here. Leave me alone, alright? But, if Treasure Hunter Claire would have been shown, just the icon of Treasure Hunter Claire would have been shown, I would have gotten a community strike, because for some reason, YouTube, it's not for some reason, Treasure Hunter Claire is an H game, and there were YouTubers knowing about the policy of YouTube, despite the heavy censorship, that got strucken down because they played that game. So the fact that I have the icon here, especially on how stupid Susan really is with the censorship, yeah, I would more than likely got struck it down, and I don't need another community guideline strike. Well, I didn't get one in the first place, I only got a copyright strike. But still, I don't need a community strike, because that will screw me over in the long run. Anyway, I ended up finding, or should I say, Neptune ended up finding a wooden sword, and you had to come here in order for you to even do battle, because you won't get Neptune's weapons until you do. So, on that note, you end up getting or should I say, you wouldn't progress plot until you come here to get Neptune's weapons first. So there is that. And the next information will also, well, actually no, all this information will also give you the plans for, well, some of them will give you plans for the stage that you're going to. Virtual Force, I don't think has any plans. Oh wait, no, it does. It has an item plan, basically. And there's so many references in this game, I can't really go through them all or remember them all. But I gotta tell you, it is funny if you notice or spot some references, like for instance, Player 2. That's Luigi, by the way. If you notice any references, it would be pretty much laughable that you happen to remember most of them. By the way, that was Dengekiko, and she actually plays a role in the spin-off game Hyperdimension Neptunia U. So she's actually one of the playable characters there. And now we go to Virtua Field. This also is a cutscene that's not voiced in English, but rather in Japanese. Really, I am actually talking over the dialogue because I don't think the subtitles match with the Japanese dialogue sometimes, because it's been re-edited thanks to the fact of Nisa's falling out with IF. That's why for the remainder of the game, I'm going to have the game on English the entirety of the time. I only did that to show off the fact that some of the cutscenes are Japanese only, other cutscenes are completely silent. So just a fair warning to all of you, if you all catch my drift. But we will actually have some action here. Yes, it's going to be like a whole bunch of cutscenes in the middle, but there is action, and it's fast-paced too. And there is a good reason why that I did the New Game Plus, because I don't want to have to put you guys through the torture of grinding. You'll just have to experience that for yourselves, and you'll probably thank me later for doing a New Game Plus, because that's a lot of grinding, and not to mention you'll have to find random items that you can customize in order for you to gain more XP, because up until you do unlock the Super XP DLC actually, and also unlock the Gain XP fragment so you can add it to your CDs. I'll talk more about that when we actually get to that point. You will be gaining a minimum amount of experience points. Until that is, you actually gain those abilities, then you'll be getting a lot of experience points. But there's a good side to this. All of your characters, whether they participate or not, will level up if they're in the party at the time that you do this. Or should I say, if they're available. Like, if they're not available, they're not going to level up, but they'll end up being like forcefully jumped forward. But if they are, they'll be leveled up even if they don't participate in the battle. Something like Final Fantasy 13. So what's going on here? We're going back to the site where Neptune landed head first. And by the way, this is the remake in question that I'm talking about here. Some of these items are probably, I think one of the items is DLC. I think that's the Experience Up. The Experience Up is DLC, but everything else you have to unlock by beating up monsters and getting the appropriate equipment for them. Or should I say appropriate drop for them. And this is actually the first battle. If you would have got the wooden sword, then you come... Okay, here's what I'm trying to say. Without the wooden sword, you wouldn't be able to progress. So you wouldn't even be able to come to this area in the first place. But seeing as how Neptune's wooden sword is her default weapon...
Finally!
You're pretty much going to start off with that if you don't already have any weapons on hand. So long as Neptune's wooden sword is in her possession at the start of the first game, you wouldn't have to go through that cutscene. But if you sold it, like I foolishly did, you'll have no choice. So yeah, we just killed off a doggo. So get used to seeing those, they're the staple of this series. And yeah, if you've seen the anime and read the manga, those doggo could be very aggressive. To the point where it's become like common that the doggo just, for some reason, go up and attack the girls, putting them in fan service-y positions. It's rather common. And of course, I'm showing off these battles for one reason and one reason only. Some of the characters have certain no, some of the enemy parties have certain enemies that are not on the field. That's the only reason why I'm showing off most of these battles.
Where's the patient?
Also, give me a little detail about what's going on here. Uni is a long-range character, as I mentioned. IF and... no, not IF. She's later. I mean, Neptune and Compa, that's what I meant to say. Those two were close-range fighters. As you saw, I was getting in within their range, which is those boxes that you see near their weapons, and actually taking out monsters. Now, some of the weapons they get will either have long range that will deal damage with a whole row of monsters. Oh, by the way, here's a hidden box. And there's a good reason why I went to the New Game Plus, because of the fact that I already have the ability to find the location of hidden boxes before I actually use the scouting system, which is going to be the circle button. Or the B button on the PC controller.
I got this.
Now,
Finally.
I'm sorry I'm all over the place, but here's the thing.
Where's the patient?
The battle system works like this. As you saw with Compa's needle, she could actually take two characters that are in a line if they're close together. It all depends on the weapons. Their tech actually means how many enemies that they can take out at one time, or how much distance they can actually close the gap to some of the enemies. And the symbol attack that you saw was a preemptive strike, while the surprise attack is a preemptive strike from the enemy. So, bear that in mind. And if bosses gets a preemptive strike, oh, I feel so sorry for you. Because the bosses can be tough, or the boss monsters that are in the stage. Just thought I'd point that out to you. I had to show off like a battle because, of course, that was a mandatory battle. Another thing I had to show off was also the surprise attacks and also the symbol attack. So I showed off most of that, but what I was trying to say was different characters have different attacks. And the whole name of the game is the EX bar, as soon as I finish dealing with Miss Manual here. The EX bar is your friend. Also, Miss Manual just mentioned something about treasure search. I'll worry about that in just a little bit. Actually, no, I'll worry about that later because I just finished showing you guys how that works. It's basically the scouting. And back then in the original Hyperdimension Neptunia game, the treasure search function was only limited to certain characters. Thankfully, after Mark II, that wouldn't be a problem. But meanwhile, as I was saying, the EX bar on the left-hand bottom of your screen is the name of the game. All the battles you get into, you will have to build up your EX bar.
Whoa,
and the more you build up your EX bar, and by the way, that was where a healing rod is at. No, a healing pod is. Sorry, not a healing rod. But as I was saying, the more you build up your EX bar, if you have EX attacks, which at the beginning of the game you wouldn't, but if you do have EX attacks in the New Game Plus, they will be available. Not to mention, I just found the life fragment plan right here. Make sure you pick that up, because life fragments are basically your Phoenix Downs in this game. You will need them. You will worship them. Oh, and there's also a healing pod plan, and I just picked up healing pods recently. By the way, Boxer's Soul.
No, I let my guard down.
These guys is actually part of a quest. Most of these enemies are part of a quest, actually. So, if you do run into the guild and have to gain some items or kill some enemies, that's the place to go. By the way, there's only one save point throughout the field, and in some cases, there aren't save points at all. So bear that in mind when you come here. But the name of the game, again, is to raise up the EX bar. And that's all that matters.
you, Nep Nep.
Wow, that's a huge hole right there.
Nep Nep, does this make you remember anything? Nep Nep?
I can't remember a thing. Compa, are you sure I was stuck here?
Yes. You fell from the skies like a shooting star and landed right here.
Like a shooting star cutting through the night, right?
That's right.
What's the matter, Compa? Why'd you raise your voice?
Just struck me, but there could be a clue around here somewhere. Nep Nep, did you lose anything by chance? Maybe an idea or anything?
I wish, but you know, I can't remember anything, so... Hey, wait! I do remember something I'm missing.
Really? What is it?
Well, that's obvious.
Obvious?
My memory. Wasn't that funny?
Nep Nep, I don't think now is the time to be fooling around.
Wait, what? I thought you were joking when you asked me if I remembered.
Joking aside, let's look for some clues. What's that sound?
I have a bad feeling about this. What? The ground! It's crumbling!
We're falling!
Ouch! I didn't expect that. They really changed the story with this remake. Wait a minute. Where's Compa? Compa! Where are you? Are you all right?
Yes, see, I think I'm okay.
Phew. It would have been a disaster if you lost your memory, too. Where are we, anyway?
I think we're beneath the forest. This place feels a bit weird.
Yeah, I'm getting bad vibes from this place. What's this? Compa, can you take a look? Do you know what it is?
I don't know. I've never seen something like this before.
I know! It must be a medal to change into items with a king somewhere. What? Where's that event flag-inducing growl coming from?
Nep Nep! There's a huge monster over there! Please help me!
Oh no! Compa! She's being censored and censored!
I'm not being censored! I'm just off screen, Nep Nep!
Oh, you know fan service. Well, time to get a bit more serious now. Don't worry, I'll save you. Take this! What the? Wait, who just commented on my attack?
I'm sorry. I didn't want to surprise you, but I couldn't stop myself.
I've heard that voice before. Have we met?
I am Histoire. I thought I explained this when I was in your dream, Neptune.
Oh yeah! Ms. Heavenly Voice from my dream! Wait, that was real?
Nep Nep. A little help here, pretty please.
Oh, right! I need to help Compa. Miss Heavenly Voice, can you help?
No, but if you use your hard drive divinity, things should be okay.
Hard drive what? I lost my memory, so do you mind taking it step by step?
I see. That explains why the conversation was all over the last time.
If I use that hard drive thingy, I can save Compa, right?
Well, yes. But now, I'm not sure you can use your hard drive divinity.
Well, I'll go beyond the impossible and kick reason to the curb. So, please, lend me a hand. I want to save my friend Compa.
I will force run hard drive divinity from you. Are you ready?
Ready and willing!
Neptune, may your power arise.
You're glowing!
Is this really me?
Yes, this is your true form, Neptune.
Nep. Wow, you transformed!
The power, it's flowing from within. There's no way I can lose with this. Just wait, Compa. I'll save you.
Well, yes, I just repeated that you have to have a full EX bar. I'm telling you, for your own safety, it's better that way, because some of the EXE drive moves
Who
that you
wants to
have
take me on?
for your characters could actually turn the tides of battle in
slow.
your favor. However, starting off,
That was
you
easy.
shouldn't be able to unlock EXE drives until you reach a certain level. On that note, it would be in your best interest for every chapter, by the way, this is for all the Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth games, as well as for Hyperdimension Neptunia Victory and Mega Dimension Neptunia V2. You better go into a chapter 15, the next chapter, 15 levels higher than what you came out of the last chapter. Like, if you start at chapter 1, you better be at level 15 by the time you leave chapter 1 and go into chapter 2. Because while you may be satisfied with 10 or maybe 5, it would be best if you be at level 15 by the time you finish this. Not just to one-shot the enemies, but because of the fact that you'll end up learning abilities like the EXE meter that you just happen to see in the right-hand corner of your screen all the more easier. And by the way, what's going on screen, despite the fact that we just got finished beating the monster, it's still alive. Compa and Neptune have to retreat, despite the fact of Neptune having the HDD. And while this is going on, I might as well explain what that is. The HDD is a transformation. I should have explained that in the battle, but we one-shot the monster. HDDs will pretty much give all of these CPUs double the power that they already have. Not to mention, some of the abilities may even change depending on the CPU. Like, for instance, Plutia, all of her abilities will end up becoming more stat debuffs than what it would be if she was just a normal, well, just in her normal state. CPUs also thrive off of shares. So the higher the shares are, by the way, it's going to be a huge thing from this game all the way until, I do believe, Super Dimension Neptunia Hard Girls. They don't have shares in that game, at least. But shares are definitely a big thing here, because you need others to have no shares, while everyone else have an allocated shares between 20% or higher. Needless to say, the higher your shares, the more powerful your CPUs will become. This also goes for candidates as well. And not to mention the DLC CPUs, like Plutia, Pishi, and also Uzume. They will get a bonus as well. This isn't Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 2, where the makers and the oracles all get an awakening state. But whatever the case, folks, we're now going to be able to go to the guild after this mission. We couldn't go before, but we will be able to go to it now, and there is a reason why I'm not going to go to the guild now, because we just got out of a boss battle and we had to make sure we unlocked everything. But the guild is the only way for us to actually proceed. There is a mission which is called the Law of the Hero. You have to access that mission first before you proceed out of Chapter 1. But I think we're going to be paying some optional lands a visit first. Yes, we will have to discover the guild, because that's actually the only way we're going to deal with the monster and also unlock Monster Cave. But for the time being, I'm just going to let you all in on a little secret when it comes down to this game. Don't go rushing off to the next area until you are sure you are able to win. By the way, the Monster Cave actually leads to a boss battle, which is all the more reason why I told you to make sure that you are at least level 15 by the time you leave this area. Because it's more like a back-to-back boss area, and also you will end up gaining access to a new character. So, well, not new to the story, but a new character that'll appear that's already in the game, basically. You'll run into IF, so there's no reason for you to beat around the bush. But I will say this. At this point, whatever grinding you want to do it now. So on that note, I will see you all in the next episode of Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 1, when I visit some of the optional areas. On that note, this is RVMan985. I will see you guys in part 3. And yeah, there will be more fighting, but hopefully less cutscenes. See you guys next time.